Hello friends, today we'll be studying on Emile Durkheim's view on suicide. He wrote a book called Last Suicide in 1897. So first question that comes up to our mind is that why did he write a book on suicide, which is such a depressing topic, isn't it? So there were a number of reasons on it. That's why the heading, what prompted him to study suicide. So the very first reason was that his friend Sanduri, he was a very close friend of Emile Durkheim. They used to have philosophical discussions, social discussions with each other. And one day, Emile Durkheim gets to know that he has committed suicide. And despite being a well renowned person, well established person, financially stable, it was a shock to Emile Durkheim that what was the reason behind it that he committed suicide. And it shook him to the core. So, this was one of the personal reasons. Second reason was that his son went missing. His son went missing in the war between France and Germany. France and Germany was at the war at that time, and his son went at the forefront. And in the fight between France and Germany, his son went missing. And this led to a huge depression in Emile Durkheim's life. He had suicidal thoughts, and that's when he contemplated that what is the reason of suicide. So this was also one of the personal reason to him why he thought of reading and going on with the study of suicide. The third reason was available empirical data on suicide in police station, courts, and hospitals. Being a positivist, Emile Durkheim believed that evidence supports the theory. So being a positivist is a person who believes that sociology is a science. So being a positivist, he had a firm belief that the theory that he's going to propound has a valid evidence and has proofs which he will substantiate with the help of these statistics based on the values he has from police stations, courts, and hospitals. Moving to the next slide, and here we will see literature review and rebuttal by Durkheim to philosophers and demographers. So now he will give rebuttal to the people who wrote on suicide during those times. So the first person was Michael Bravo. Michael Bravo uh, wrote about suicide, and he wrote that people who have weak minds commit suicide. And who are those people? Those people are women, young people, and people from black community. He also said people suffering from aggression, frustration, addiction, alcoholism, and economic insecurity are more prone to suicides. To this, Durkheim said no, and he said no, this is not true. He supported this with his statistics and said that according to statistics, men commit suicides 68% in numbers, whereas women commit suicide 32% in numbers. And also women are highly emotional in family, but they're also responsible for persistence and stability in the family. They are the one who brings love and closeness in the family, which sustains the family. So this was the theory given by Michel Bravo, that people who are weak commit suicide. And who are they? Women, alcoholic black, young, etc., and people suffering from depression, all these things. So this is what he said. And in rebuttal to alcoholism, Emile Durkheim says to Michael Bravo that no, people do not consume alcohol because they are weak. They consume alcohol and get addicted to many things because they want to enjoy life. Well, yeah, it's debatable, I know, but this is what Emile Durkheim said when he was arguing to the theory of Michael Bravo. So moving to the next person, he was a demographer, Robert Selvin. Robert Selvin gave three, four relations between suicide and many parameters. First parameters was age and suicide has correspondence. What he said was that Robert Selvin said teenagers and elderly people are more prone to suicide. Why did he say so? We don't know, he might have his own theory, but to this Emile Durkheim said that there is a hidden fact to it, and the hidden fact is unmarried people are more prone to suicide. Why? Than married people. That why? Because they have less solidarity. Less solidarity with community. What is called less solidarity? Less solidarity is that you are not bonding, you are not mingling with people around you, you are busy in your own. So that's called less solidarity. And he also said that to Durkheim, he said that this hidden fact, because unmarried people they have less solidarity with community, societies is weak. This solidarity is weak, whereas married people has good social intimacy, and hence they have the married people have less suicidal rates. So this is what he replied to Robert Selvin's age and suicide correspondence. Next is religion and suicide has correspondence. Now Robert Selvin said that religion, and he gave an example between Protestants and Catholic. He said Protestants commit more suicide rather than Catholics. Now to this, Durkheim said, no, this is not true. Rather than studying which religion is committing suicide, you should study why that religion is committing suicide. So why that religion is committing suicide? To this explanation, Durkheim says that in Protestants' religion gave them space to be goal oriented, to be high achievement oriented, and they inculcate values like punctuality, sincerity, discipline. So this lifestyle makes them do things like either marry late in life or do not get married. And in turns what happens is sometimes in late in their lives they feel frustrated, they get agitated by looking people around them, that they have such a good friend circle, they have such a good family and social relations around them. So due to this, either they develop inferiority, frustration, self-doubt and anguish, and that is the reason they have high suicide rates. Whereas Catholics go to church every Sunday, they meet their fellow relatives, they meet their friends, they share their sorrows and sufferings, and they gets to know that suffering is part and parcel of life, and they derive strength from it. They derive a sense of feeling that everything will be fine some or the other day, and God is taking care of us from above. So this is religion and society that is telling them the suicide is a social fact. So in all, Durkheim wanted to portray that this suicide is a social fact and not a psychological or demographical fact. So here Catholics and Protestants. Protestant and Catholics was given by Robert Selvin, and Durkheim said it is a social fact, not religion. Now the next thing Robert Selvin said, that there is a correspondence between suicide suicide and climate. What did he say? That from December to June the suicide rate is from December to June suicide rate declines, whereas from June to December suicide rate increases. Now to this, Durkheim says that, dear friend, this is not because of the climate, this is because of the festivity. In summer the festivity is less and man feels isolated for being away from family and friends. Festivity brings rituals, and rituals are social battery which gives revitalization to the person, and that revitalization is very important for the social for the physical and mental well-being. And hence in all these ways he said festivity is important. Rituals are social battery which revitalize man. So this is what Emile Durkheim said. So by his arguments, what does we conclude? Here we conclude that Emile Durkheim wanted to say that suicide is not a social, it's not an individual thing. It's not something that a person does by himself. It's because of society driven. It's because of society, what society provides him to do. Because a person does not intimidate what everyone is intimidated. He does things which society gives him. Society is giving him some values and he reciprocates to them. That is what Durkheim is saying here. So what conclusion he says? He says suicide is a social fact and not or demographic, and not psychological or demographic thing. That's all for today. Thank you so much, students. Goodbye. Take care.